Hello and thanks for tuning into my video. I hope you think this quick tutorial is very useful and helpful. If you do, please subscribe to my channel. Before we get started, can we all just get into a Zen mood real quick? This was the scene in Alexandria, Virginia. As I was walking to the store, it just finished raining, and I walked past this beautiful bush, and I'm gonna try to do some custom illustrations, but I'm just always inspired by nature. Okay, so let's get into it. What do you need? Cardboard letter. You can pick it up at the craft store. I think you can even get it at Target. Buy some preserved moss, metallic spray, whatever color you want your letter to be. And in this case, and a glue gun, of course. In this case, I have already cut, because when I got the letter in, it was of course solid. And basically, I just took an X-Acto blade and I cut off the top part and gutted it out. And then right now I'm putting in some scrap pieces of paper that I had in order to create the right amount of depth that I want for this project. So depending on where you get your letter from, it might already be hollowed out, or you might have to take the time to kind of hollow it out yourself if you want to hollow it out. I probably didn't have to. I could have glued the moss right on top of that top layer, but I wanted my moss to be sunken into the letter a little bit, which is why I decided to hollow it out and then fill it back in myself. So, of course, with glue, oh my God, the glue gun is so messy. You're not going to really see it on here because it's going so fast. But as soon as you put the glue down and then you move away, there's like all these little hot glue strings everywhere. So know that after your project, you're going to have to go back in and clean it up. But I'm almost finished here. I even cut down the top part of the end that I cut off. I cut it down just a little bit just so it could fit right into the letter, just to create that depth that I was talking about. So I'm just glue, 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 and boom. There we go. So now it's just, you see how there's maybe a ½ an inch from the top, where the inside is sunken down. Now I'm about to fill that in with moss, and you can get preserved moss at any arts and crafts store. You can also get it at like your local nursery, because not only do I use it for crafts, but sometimes I'll put it like on my plants, like on the dirt, just to cover up the dirt, just to make it look a little bit more pretty. So you can even probably get it online, like Amazon or something like that. It does tend to be a little bit pricey, so I would shop around and know that you can get it in all different colors. Today I'm going to be using green and like this brownish color, but I also have moss in orange. I recently bought some in this beautiful like purple, like a plum color. So depending on what you like, you can buy it in all kind of colors. Just make sure you get the preserved moss, because with that, you don't have to water it or do anything else. It'll just stay as is. And it's, for the most part, the moss is pretty soft too, and it stays soft, which is nice. So for me, I don't ever have like a real game plan going in, but you could definitely think through your design. As I go, I kind of come up with concepts. So in this case, as I was working, I was like, okay, I think I don't want the entire thing to be green. So what I'm doing is I'm making the middle part of the end green, like maybe about 2 inches. I'm going to add green on the left and the right side, and then you'll see where I'm going to add like this brownish orange color moss. And you just have to like really eyeball it a little bit, make sure you get it as full as you want it to be. And you also need to make sure that you get the edges, because right now you're looking at this top down. But what I had to do is keep checking, like, how will it look on the left side, the right side, from the top, from the bottom. And so it might seem like you have enough, but you have to continue to fill it in just so it really looks good and it doesn't look unprofessional, because you can see like all of the edges. So it's, you don't have to be too meticulous with this, but definitely try to keep that in mind as you're filling it in. So continuing to glue. And this is a really fun project, but know that it took me about, I don't know, I think it was like a couple of hours to do this, maybe an hour and a half, pull everything together in my basement, and then, just sit down and do it. So no, this isn't like a quick 15-30 minute project. But it's fun, it's therapeutic, gets you off the computer, gets you off your phone, and you have something that'll last as long as you want to keep it. So as you see here, I put the brown in. My husband says it's the dead part of the forest. Anytime I create moss art, he thinks I'm like doing some cartographic work. But for me, I like the brown, so it's kind of cool. So I'm just filling it in here and then just checking the sides like I told you guys, just to make sure everything is filled in. It's looking good. I'm happy with it. Now it just feels like it just needs like a little something. So I am about to, in a couple of seconds to you guys, but it probably took me maybe another 15 minutes to go ahead and fill in all these things. But the flowers that you see over on the right hand side, I just love them. So I feel like they're always like perfect, when it comes to like adding a special touch. And sometimes you can find like at Michael's and other art stores, like bags of moss that also have other dried elements in it. So one of my bags of moss had like a dried leaf. And so basically I glued the leaf on and the flower just to add the finishing touches. And yeah, that's it. Hope you guys found this to be useful.
Just like me, you pushed me aside, said let me show you how it's done. You put your heart